right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we've got some purple yellow pudding action lined up for you today. That's right, some purple yellow Big Mom Pirates action lined up for today. And it will be in the OP11 meta, so we're going to get to see some of the new cards in action in here. You know, obviously the new 8-cost purple Katakuri. And yeah, I think this, I will say this, it's always fun to look back and see what leaders get some of, you know, the best new support from the new sets coming out, or however you'd say that. And this is one of those leaders that gets some pretty decent support from the new purple Katakuri cards. Not all of the cards are great for this leader. You know, the cards that try to peek at the top card of the deck, that's more of a purple Katakuri thing. There are ways to pull it off with the new Searcher and stuff, but it's like, you know, I don't think we should worry about that. But generally speaking, there were 2 or 3 really strong cards that this leader got access to from OP11, and we're going to look at those in today's video. Okay, so with that in mind, guys, let's go ahead and break down the video. I'll tell you what we're getting into today. First things first, we're going to head over to the deck list. We're going to break it down and see what's going on and see what we think about it, okay? I got a pretty cool new deck list to work with today, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Okay, after that, we're gonna go over 5 games on the sim. We got 5 games lined up for today on the sim, and then we'll finish off the video by going over the deck list one more time, and I'll tell you guys what I think about this leader going forward, and you know, we'll kind of wrap it up in that way. Okay, guys. All right, let's do this. Let's get into it. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that down in the comments section below. And, yeah, guys, please do not hesitate to put any comments down there as well. Any kind of questions, suggestions, comments, anything like that. Or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. This video is sponsored by Nin Garden. Their latest spring collection just dropped with 3 new designs, and to celebrate, they are running a spring sale. Buy one, get any classic mat 40% off with the code SPRINGSALE. Plus, use NIN10 for an automatic 10% off at the checkout. You can stack this with my promo code, the VV Theory, for an additional 5% off, bringing you to a total of 15% total savings on top of the 40% off. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck list for today's video. We're not going to spend too much time on this because a lot of these cards have been known for a while. I'll even link some videos from that I've put out before on Purple Yellow Pudding, kind of explaining how the deck really functions. But today I want to focus more on the new cards we have access to from OP11. We will at least break down the leader for some of the newer players. It's a 5,000 power 4-life leader. It has a when attacking effect of, you may turn the top 2 cards of your life area face up, and then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as rested. And of course, it's a Big Mom Pirates type card, so we have access to, you know, Tinlin and everything. But hear me out, guys, just to kind of explain this again to the newer players. This effect here, you're probably only going to get like one or two activations off a game, unless you choose to build the deck very differently. I don't know. But typically speaking, you're only going to get 1 or 2 activations of this off a game, but that's all we need. We literally just want 2 a game, and then we are smooth sailing. We're in cruise control into the late game. Okay, so with that in mind, there's the leader. Now, we are running Bon Clay in here, or Bon Clay, Mr. Tube, Bentham. If you cannot afford this card, do not worry about that at all. We have some really good options to replace it with Basil Hawkins, because we just need to ramp the Dawn. All we need is a way to ramp the Dawn, and some people might even be moving away from this card entirely, and they might be going with this new Charlotte Brûlée, because here's the benefit of running this card over Bentham. I am running both of them, but hear me out. This new, this is one of the new cards. It's from OP11. It's a 3-cost, 4,000 power, 1K counter, Big Mom Pirates character that has on play. You may add the top card of your life to your hand. To your hand, and then if your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, add up to 1 active Dawn card from your Dawn deck. This card is actually very strong. In my personal opinion, I do think it is better than Mr. Bon Clay Bentham in this deck, because hear me out. We want to go first. For those who are not aware, who have never tried this leader out, you want to go first, so that way you can ramp very aggressively, because on a perfect curve, and this happens more often than you'd think because of these, now we have another searcher, an actual character searcher. Before we had to play the 1-cost event if we wanted 8 searchers, or Charlotte Parasparrow or something, but now we have 4 of the purple 1-cost searchers and 4 of the yellow 1-cost searches for Big Mom Pirates. But what ends up happening is you want to go first and go turn 1, play out your Pudding searcher. Turn 2, you'll be on 3 Dawn, swing with your leader, you'll go to 4. Okay, and then you could play out this Brûlée and go straight to 5. okay, even while going first. So now you're on a 5 Dawn turn, and then going into your next turn, you go up to 7, and now you only have to ramp one more time to get to 8, so that way next turn you'll be on 10 Dawn. That'll be on your turn, that'll be turn 4 going first, dropping down a 10 cost character. That is massive tempo in One Piece for those who might not be aware. Probably common sense, right? But hey, just for those who might not be aware, that is a massive tempo swing in this game, being able to play out a 10 cost character while your opponent is coming off their 6 Dawn turn. They're about to be going into their 8 Dawn turn for their turn 4, and you're going into your 10 Dawn turn. It's very, very powerful. Now, with that in mind, I might have messed that up with the numbers. Someone help me out in the comment section if I was off by a turn, but y'all know what I mean. It's a very quick acceleration into the late game where you can drop down some massive, very powerful, very impactful characters. But even if we only get to 9 Dawn, if we only get to 7 straight to 9, we'll have access to this Charlotte Linlin as well. So real quick, guys, this card is incredible. We might not even need the Bon Clay anymore, but if you cannot afford Bon Clay, it's not a problem. You can run Basil Hawkins to ramp Dawn. I always recommend this card. And there's also some new cards from, or not, I don't know if they're new or not, excuse me, but there's these other cards for Big Mom Pirates. They're from OP08. It's to die for. This is the same idea as the Charlotte Brûlée, where we can use this going first or second. If we're going first or second, we'll be able to use the 3 cost Dawn ramp cards, whereas if we're going first, we won't even be able to use the Mr. 2 on curve. It ends up being just a 1k counter in hand. So there might actually be a legitimate argument to not even run this card anymore and instead run something like It's to Die For, because we also have the Brûlée. So that way we end up having 8 1-cost Searchers and then 8 3-cost Dawn ramp. That's a big deal, and this one does have a trigger to ramp a Dawn as well, which could come in handy, you never know. Okay, what else? So that's and there's one other card that you could also run if you like the more defensive stuff with Charlotte Brûlée. It's a 4-cost 1k counter blocker with on KO, ramp a Dawn rested. This is actually not the greatest card for what we're trying to do. It's almost counterintuitive, to be honest, to run this card, because typically speaking, understand how this the when attacking effect works, guys. Notice the bold text before the colon. That is the cost associated with doing the when attacking effect to get the actual effect to ramp a Dawn. We have to turn 2 of our life cards face up. So in other words, if we don't have 2 life cards to turn face up, we can't ramp Dawn. So after our first attack, we usually, we're going to want to take a hit to go down to only, we'll go down to 3 life, and we'll only have 1 card face up on top of our life now, and that's where you usually want to play out Charlotte Katakuri. So in other words, you actually do want to take that first hit to go down to only 1 card that's face up in your life to play out this Charlotte Katakuri here. Pause and read this if you don't know what it does. It allows you to flip a life card face down to ramp a Dawn. Then we can get the double ramp on that turn to get straight to 10 Dawn on the following turn. So this Charlotte, this one right here, this Brûlée, it's a little bit counterintuitive to what we're trying to do, unfortunately, but it is still a 4-cost blocker. It is searchable. It's a 1k counter, and on KO, it does rest a card. But if you're going to go this route, you might also want to try more defensive options, like the 2-cost Viola, which is a yellow card that came out in EB02. It is a 2-cost blocker with a 1k counter that has on play. You can either look at all your opponent's life cards and then put them in any order, or you can turn all your life cards face down. And it's a blocker, like I said. It's not searchable, it's Dressrosa, but there are some options there. Okay, so Bon Clay, I always have to try to, mention replacements for Bon Clay in whatever deck we're running, and I honestly think the best replacement for this card ends up being the Big Mom Pirates card we were just looking at, the 3-cost event, It's to Die For, so that way we have 2 3-cost ways to ramp Dawn. Just to make the deck as consistent as possible is the idea there. Okay, other than that, we're only going to talk about a few other cards here, namely this 8-cost, mainly this 8-cost Katakuri here. This is an 8-cost, 8,000 power blocker that came out in OP11. It has end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more is active, and then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. The second part's not very important for what we're doing in this deck, but hey, it is an added, it's there. It is an effect we have access to. But the main thing is this is an 8-cost, 8,000 power blocker in the deck. Now, the original version I was running of this list, I will show that real quick to put things into perspective, because I was not even running the 2-cost Katakuri in here, okay? I was not running the 2-cost Katakuri to cheat out the bigger Katakuris because I was only running the 6-cost. I was building things a little bit differently back then. I was even running the pair of Sparrows, and I had to use this as one of the one-cost searchers because we didn't have access to the new one. I was running the Viola we were just talking about just to make sure we had as much consistency as possible. Well, now that we have the new Brûlée card, the Ramp Dawn, and the new Searcher, I've changed things up quite a bit. Let me go back to the list we're on, and I've actually included, now I have included the 2-cost Katakuri, because this Katakuri is so worth running that I've decided to add this in as well as an extra target for our 2-cost Katakuri. Now, for those who don't know what this card does, this came out in OP08 as well with a lot of the other purple, Big Mom Pirates cards we see in here. This card is a 2-cost 3K with a 1K counter, Big Mom Pirates type, of course. Activate main, trash this character. If your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, play up to 1 Charlotte Katakuri from your hand that has a cost of 3 or greater and a cost less than or equal to the number of Dawn on your opponent that your opponent has on their field, right? So in other words, if your opponent has 8 or more Dawn, we can pay 2, play this card out, and cheat out one of the 8-cost Katakuris you see in the deck list here. That has a lot of potential, you know, that we can get from that, because hear me out, if we're ramping to Charlotte Lin, we're not developing the craziest board along the way, which is not a big deal because we're getting to this card so quickly. However, it's nice to be able to play this out and then have the potential to be able to play out a 8-cost Katakuri, you know, for 8. And then with the remaining 2 Dawn, if your opponent's on 8 or more, play out this 2-cost Katakuri to cheat out another Katakuri. You know, whether you get 2 purples, 2 yellows, or a purple and a yellow, whatever, it could just be incredible. Now, I will say this, I am testing a lot in this deck. This is a pretty unmodified list. It's kind of my first take going into OP11. Okay, so there's plenty of room for adjustment. I think we're going to want to go up to 4 of these Katakuris and probably down to 2 of the yellow Katakuri, but we'll see. And you guys, you know, please tell me what you think along the way. Tell me what, how you're feeling about this, about the way that this package is set up. And then, okay, just to round out the list, we are running, we talked about this Brûlée, right? The one that ramps Dawn. And then we have 4 Flampe for the 2K counter spot and 4 Satori. We're only running 8 2K counters, but we are running 4 of the 0-cost 3K. But hear me out. The main idea here is we're trying, instead of countering out to protect our life, we're mainly trying to gain life with cards like 10-cost Lin and 9-cost Lin. Because it comes at a pretty big price of giving up the board, so we really need to gain life and go about things that way. We still need some counter power, of course, but hopefully I'm making sense with that. We're trying to take the board back with cards like 9 Lin, 8-cost Katakuri, the yellow one that can bounce cards to life, and then play out these massive bodies and start bullying the board in that way, and then just get some, you know, fill up the board with big characters they can't deal with. Okay, but we are running 4 of the Flampe and 4 Satori. I still like Satori. I was running this in the original list. It does provide a little bit of extra tempo and a little bit of extra problems from our life that our opponent might not account for. So I do like having access to the Satori. Unfortunately, I was not able to fit the 3-cost Parasparrow in. I was a big fan of the 3-cost Parasparrow. Yeah, the on-play effect, or excuse me, the on-KO effect, let me bring it up for those who don't know what I'm talking about. The 3-cost Parasparrow is, if I can find it, here it is. This is a 3-cost 5K all the way back from OP03, and it has trigger. It's the same trigger as Satori where you can play it out by trashing a card. They're both, you know, Satori and the Parasparrow are both 5,000 power bodies coming out of your life for trashing a card with no Dawn investment. And this one had an on KO to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and search for a Big Mom Pirates card. I really liked this card in the deck because it was yet another card for us to play out on curve. And I'll talk about revisions at the end of the video. I would really like to include this card back into the deck, but now it's entering into a very, how do I say this? It's entering into a very tough spot where like a 3-cost card with no counter, it's hard to beat this now. It's to die for. Now, this is not a body, but a 100% guaranteed ramp on turn 2 going first or second. It's hard to beat that, guys, so definitely consider that when you're building your list. Okay, that's enough talking about the deck list, guys. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. Or if I missed a really awesome card to include, please mention that down there as well. One more card I do want to mention, and I'll try to talk about this again at the end of the video as well, is I would like to also include maybe 1 or 2 copies of Kaido and Lin, because this card, hey guys, this card against certain matchups, just it's like a game over button. If you just ramp straight to Kaido and Lin, it is game over for your opponent. So it's definitely something you have to keep into consideration when you're building a list. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's get into some games on the sim. Okay, let me go full screen here. Let me get my my face cam back over to here, and here we go, guys. First game up. Okay, we got a banger for our first game up here. And we have a matchup, goodness gracious, there we go, versus Blurple Luffy. So volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Can you guys see it okay? Yeah, I think it looks good over there. Now, hear me out, guys. This is a new matchup that a lot of people are scared of. Let me pause already. I had to adjust my camera one more time. Okay, there we go. Now I'm happy with it. This is a new matchup that a lot of people are dreading, a lot of people are scared of. Well, let me say this. Purple-Yellow Pudding is actually pretty decent into this matchup. All things considered, we're ramping just as fast as they are a lot of times. But we're playing down these characters that are much, much bigger. Like these 10 cost 12Ks. The biggest card in Blue-Purple Luffy at the time putting out this video is maybe a 10K. Most of them are 9 cost 9Ks, but some are running the 9 cost 10K Rush Luffy. Well, we're dropping down 10 cost 12Ks on them that are ripping their life away where they don't get to draw the card. They don't get to, use any triggers or get the card. And it's just, and we're gaining a life. It's massive. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to go first here. We do prefer going first. We're going to do a top search here. We end up getting the Charlotte Lin. Now, watch this, guys. In this situation here, we're going to play out the Charlotte Brulee. I'm going to use the effect first there to ramp it on so I can swing 6 into them, which was not ideal because we could have, let me pause. Now, we don't have the 6 cost Katakuri in our hand to really capitalize on this curve, but that's okay. Typically, what we would want to do is swing 5 first, and then and use our leader effect, and then ramp it on with Brulee. So that way, when we take a life, it gets us down to only 1 card face up in our life area. That's a big balance for using this leader, is your top life cards getting back down to where we can use the effect. But in this situation here, we only have 3 life left. We're not going to be able to use the leader effect anymore, and we also don't have a 6 cost Katakuri to help us out next turn. Okay, here we go. So they're going to swing in for 7. We're probably just going to take this. Yeah, I don't think we can counter out if we wanted to. We'll take it. Are we going to use the trigger? I don't think so. I'd rather have the 2K counter in hand. We're on 7 Dawn this turn, and we're going to try to get to 8. Yep, we're on 8 now. Now we can actually play out a 10 Lin next turn. We're going to swing for 6, and now we're going to swing for 6 more, and then we're going to do a search here, maybe grab a 2K counter. A 2K counter would be nice, or the 2 cost Katakuri, since we have all 3 of our 8 cost Katakuris in hand. So that 2 cost is going to come in very nicely after we slam down our 10 cost. Okay, they are also ramping to 10 Dawn this turn. So that is a little scary. That is definitely a little bit scary. It would be important. It's actually very important for us to counter out in this turn. If they go into our board, that's fine. If they go into our board, that's fine. But if they go into life, we need to counter out aggressively here. Nice. They went for our Brulee. That was actually best case scenario for us. Now we are on 10 Dawn. We can attack in with the Bentham here if we want to, but I don't think that's the right play. I think we should leave that card active so that way they can't attack into it. Or now they're on 8 Dawn, guys. We can play out double Katakuri in this situation, and we're going to. We're going to go 8 cost Katakuri into 8 cost Katakuri, and we're going to pass the turn. Your turn. Now, we can't stand up the Bentham with their effect. It has to be a Big Mom Pirates card, so we're not going to do that. I still think it would have maybe been a better call there to play out the 10 cost 12K, but this is definitely the safer play. Okay, I do think this is the safer play, but I think the more aggressive play that had a higher possible yield, or however you'd want to say that, is playing out the 10 cost Lin instead of the 8 cost. Okay, they're going to swing in here. We're going to take this. They swung in for 8. We're going to go ahead and take that. Let's see what they choose to do now. They're going to swing in for 9. I think we're going to block 2K here. Or we could just take it, actually. We're going to take it. We're not going to use the effect because we are going to gain a life this turn pretty much no matter what. We're going to go 5 into that. That's fine. Let's see. We might even choose to swing in for 6 here just to give them another target to attack into. So we get to swing for free now with our Katakuris, right? Because they stand up at the end of turn. Okay, now we're going to play out the 9 Lin. It looks like I'm saving the 10 Lin for when I absolutely need it. We're going to gain life and push that card to their life. Their board is gone, and now we're going to play out a Searcher, get another 10 Lin. That's massive in this situation here, guys. So understand, we now have a Bentham, a Mr. 2 on the board that is daring them. I'm daring them to play out a 9 cost card, an 8 cost or 9 cost, 8K, 9K, 10K, whatever. If they play that, I get 3 massive, massive swings next turn. And I have 10 Lin, so it could just be game over. They're swinging for 6. I think we should 2K counter out of this. That would have been like gross negligence there to not counter out of that or something like that. They're going to play out the 9 Lin. Oh, dear. So this is not good for my opponent. They're trying to play around things to the best of their ability. They're going to push the Ben. Now we're going to gain a life. So now we're going to gain a life when they really didn't want to give us a life. And we have Tinlins coming down after that. We're going to swing in for 8. We're going to swing in for 9. We're going to slam down a 10 cost. And this game is on the brink of being over. They're going to use Gum Gum Giant. They're going down to 7 Dawn, guys. They don't get their leader effect next turn now. Playing this out, boom, there goes your Usohachi. And now we're going to stand that up. They're on... Did you see that, guys? No leader effect for them because they were on 7. They concede. They have absolutely no chance at this point. If they swing anything into my life, which they have to, by the way, they have to swing into life, swing into life. Even if they did a blind Rip Sanji, which was not bad, they would have got a 6K blocker off the top. Even with a blind Rip Sanji here, it doesn't matter. I'm going to gain another life. I'm going to go into their board in this case, more than likely. I might just actually go into the 9 lin if I have to here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You know, it depends on what they have. But then we're playing down another 10 lin. We're just demolishing their board. We have the blocker. Our hand size is looking good. And this is actually, I'm not saying this Blurple Luffy player got the best pull or anything like that. But you have to be very careful with that deck, playing out the 9 cost Lin and then into a Gum Gum Giant, because then you won't be able to use your leader effect next turn because you'll go down 3 Dawn down to 7. Okay, good game to my opponent. That was a tough one. That was a very tough one for them, and I do think Purple-Yellow Pudding has a very good matchup into Blue-Purple Luffy. Okay, next up we have a game versus Red-Black Koby. Okay, in fact, we have Red-Black Koby up next here, or that we have on now, then Jinbe, then Nami, and then we have Green-Yellow Shira Hoshi, I believe. Okay, so we're playing against everything but Purple Katakuri in today's video, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so we're going first. Again, we want to ramp with our leader right away. We don't really have a great follow-up here, so we're just going to swing for 8. Ramp a Dawn. We see a Pudding and a Tinlin on top of our life. Seems pretty good. Now, watch this, guys. We're on our 4 Dawn. We just got 4 Dawn. They're going to swing for 5. We are going to take it as aggressively as possible because next turn will be on 6 Dawn. 6 Dawn is going to allow us to play out the 6-cost Katakuri, turning our top life card face down again so we can ramp a second time with our leader effect and the Katakuri ramps as well, so we can go straight into a 10-cost play on our turn 4. Okay, very, very important order of sequencing there. We had to take that aggressively. Okay, so now we're going to play out the Katakuri. We're going to swing in for... Oh, we're actually just going to swing in for 5. Use the leader effect. Very nice. We got some big cards coming in here. And then we get to play out a 1-cost Searcher. We're going to swing for 5. Let's see if they choose to take it or counter out. They choose to counter out very wisely. We're going to play out the Searcher. We get another counter. We were looking for a 2K counter there or something big. So we got a counter. Just a 1K. Okay, excuse me. They're going to play out a second Peacock here. They're going to swing 5 with their Kuzan. I no longer want to take hits super aggressively here. They have. I'm going to try and save this character. That's why I took the hit from Kuzan. Very nice. Now they're going 5 into it. We can defend it. That's why we took the life aggressively, so we could try to save that character, and we did. We're going 5 into 5. He gives me a card for that. 7 into 5. It's gone. 10 Lin, your turn. And it's going to be 10 Lin into 10 Lin into 10 Lin. That's the way to go, right? Win Lin. We go 10 Lin into 10 Lin with the win Lin strategy, right? They're going to swing into the... They can't even get rid of the Katakuri, guys. This game's pretty much just over. So they're going to go 7 more into it, looks like. Maybe 8 into it. Okay, now we have to give it up because we don't have any more. But what is the answer? So now I can swing 5 into 4. Do they want to try to save this? Okay, they do. Now we're going to go 12 into 4. It's gone. Now we're gaining a life. Yeah. We're back up to 4 life, guys. This is not the situation you want to be in, no matter what deck you're playing. And we have 2 10-cost 12Ks. They pop a Pudding on the board. They're going to swing 11 into 8. Okay, that was pretty good. They got rid of 1 Tinlin, but how are they going to get rid of this next one? Pause. They just concede there. It's over. What we were going to do was use out the Tinlin to get rid of their last life. Swing for 5 with leader. Swing 12 with other Linlin. There's no way out of it. Good game to our opponent. All right, next up we have a game versus Jinbe. Yeah, then we have Blue-Yellow Nam and then Green-Yellow Shira Hoshi. Very nice. All right, so we have a game versus Jinbe here. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. So we're going to start off with a search here from Pudding, and we grab a Brulee. We need a way to ramp Dawn. Ramping Dawn is of utmost importance. It is the most important thing for what we're trying to do. So watch this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and swing for 5 first, ramping a Dawn with our leader. Actually... Are we going to attack aggressively here? I don't think that's the right play. Yeah, ramp a Dawn here. Very nice. Now what we need to do is play out the Brulee, drawing the card from the top of our life so we can take this next hit and ramp aggressively again if we need to, which we're going to do. Okay, so right here, we're going to go up to 7 Dawn. We need to ramp one more time. Actually, we already had Bon Cray in hand, or the Bon Clay in hand. We probably shouldn't have taken it that aggressively. Okay, we're struggling, guys. We're struggling. Bear with me. We're going to swing 6, swing 7. He'll probably take this when he's down to 3 life. We have a very good board right now. And guess what's coming down next turn, guys? You guessed it. Tin-Lin. Win-Lin. That's right. They're going to go 5 into 1. You can have it. 8 into 4. You can have that. 5 into 5. We should go and counter out of this. We don't want to be... I actually saved out the Katakuri there. I should have 1K countered out, but that was a little bit greedy. I wanted to be able to cheat out a bunch of Katakuris this game if the opportunity arose. Okay. All right, so now we're going to play out the Tin-Lin. We trash a card from their life. We gain a life. We've got a massive body on the board now. What are they going to do? I don't know. You tell me. This is a tough situation to be in. They're only on their 8 Dawn turn. Remember, guys, we ramped 3 times going first, so we got down a Tin-Lin on our 4 Dawn on our turn 4. It was the beginning of our turn 4. So going into their turn 4, going second, they only have 8 Dawn. They only have 8 Dawn, guys. And that is a brutal spot to be in. All right, they're going to swing 7 into 5 here. I think we're going to counter out kind of aggressively here. Yeah, I'm trying to be very careful because we're not in the best situation. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, we're going to go 5 into face now. And if he takes this, he's in a lot of trouble. So now we're going to play out another Tin-Lin here. Ripping their life. We're going to go into face, and I'm basically telling this guy, hey, I've got bad news. You're going to have to win the game next turn. You're going to have to win the game next turn. They do counter out of it as aggressively as humanly possible there, And but I will say this, we're a little bit vulnerable here. This is one turn where we are very vulnerable. It will really come down to what's in our life. They're going to swing for 7. We have a 1K, 1K, 1K. We're going to counter out of that one, and now we can get out of anything else. It doesn't matter. They have no, unless they have Hody Jones, but if they had Hody Jones, it didn't matter anyway. Okay. Let's see what they choose to do now. They might just concede now that the game's pretty much over. I think they should have done a little bit more aggressively their attacks. Okay, load everything up and then get rid of the Lin-Lin's probably the call here. 14 to 12, you got it. They'll stand that up. We get the 6 cost Katakuri, but it doesn't matter. Swing 12, swing 15. GG. Good game to my opponent there. No way out of that. We had, oh, and I think we did know You're the One Who Should Disappear was coming up. I believe that was like knowledge that we did have access to all the way back here. Let me see something. Was it, did we? Hang on, I'm trying to see. Maybe we did not, guys. That was just, let me see something real quick. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. I don't think we had any knowledge of that looking back. So that was a little bit dangerous. We had to put our you know, we had to believe in the heart of the cards there, but we got there in the end. Good stuff. All right, next up, we got a game versus Blue Yellow Nami. We got a game versus Blue Yellow Nami here. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. And I will say this for Blue Yellow Nami players, it's a very defensive list that doesn't have the craziest late game. So if we're going to be allowed to just aggressively ramp up, Purple Yellow Pudding might just be a hard counter to Nami. And look at this. They even got a perfect start with that Sanji against me. I can't hit that Sanji at all. I have no way to deal with that Sanji. All right, here we go. They are going to, if they attack in, we get to take that top life card, which will help us out big time because that's what we need to finish our ramp. But we're going to counter out because they have one more attack they have to do now. And let's see what happens here. We're already on 5 Dawn. Yep, so now we're going to go up to 7. We're going to ramp a Dawn with this Katakuri. And now we're going to swing 5 into 3 into the Sanji. See if he wants to save that because then we'll go 6 into 3. And I don't think he wants to. We don't have to ramp anymore. We're going to be on 10 Dawn next turn. Now, our opponent, they went second, excuse me. That new Brulee is very nice for what we're trying to do. We still have 2 life, and we're about to just slam Tin-Lins, okay? This is the win-lin strategy, guys. That's what we're going to be calling that here on the channel. This is the win-lin strategy. Just drop 10 Lins on them, drop 9 Lins, and that's how it goes. Okay, that's pretty good. That's actually very annoying. We might trash our top life card, but we could also trash... Okay, yeah, we trashed the top life card because we're going to gain life anyway. Okay, he can have that card. But hear me out. We're going to be able to swing 5 here with our leader, and then 7, and then, oh, hang on. It looks like I'm going to gain life. I'm going to go about this the safest way possible. We're going to swing 6, swing 7, getting cards from our opponent's hand. On a turn, they did not have their leader effects turned on, so we did capitalize on that, trashing the Katakuri, lifing that card. But last turn, we actually could have trashed the 9 Lin and the 6 cost Katakuri from hand, and just started windmilling the 10 Lins as much as we can afterwards. That would have been another very, very solid approach. Okay, they're on their 8 Dawn turn. Remember, guys, we just went into our 10 Dawn turn. They're on their 8 Dawn turn, and we went first. Not fair at all in that situation, right? They're going to swing in for 6. We are going to 2K counter out. And then we swing in for 5 here. We're going to swing 5, 7, 9, and drop 10 Lin. Okay, they used leader effect. Now they have to give us another card. They'll probably counter out of this and take the 9K. That would make sense. And now it's time for Tin Lin. There goes their top life card. We gain a life, and our board is massive. We have decent counter power in hand as well. Our counter power is not bad. Now, they are going to red rock here. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate, but that's okay. They're going to go 9 into 7. We're going to save that. And then if they try to go into it again for 8, we're going to save it again. Okay, we're going to save it with the 2K counter here, I think. Yep. And now I think we'll... Okay, well, that answers a lot. We're going to swing 5 into face here. It's going to be swing 5, swing 7, swing 9 again, guys. Swing 5, swing 7, swing 9. All right, now we might go into their board. Now they have to give us a 2K. They can't gain a life. We just ripped their last life card away. Next turn is not going to be pretty for them. Okay, well, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good, though. They are going to be able to clean up this board, and that's a little bit scary, right? That is a little bit scary for us because our board's gone now, but we do have a very strong follow-up. Yep, gaining a life. We're swinging 5. We have a 12. We have a 10 cost 12K on the board. Do they have a third? Do they have a third red rock? Because that's about the only thing that can hurt us here. Okay, they rip a life away with the Eustace Kid. And that's I guess they were looking for some type of way to get out of this attack. Because next turn we're swinging for 12, swinging for 15. Good game. There's just no way out of it. But yeah. If Purple Yellow Pudding has time to set up, like if let me say this, I think the more aggressive decks will be harder for us to deal with. But if we have time to set up, this might be one of the better decks in the game. If the format slows down big time against decks that aren't going as wide anymore, this leader becomes very dangerous then. All right, we have one more game, guys. A game versus Green Yellow Shirahoshi. Now, Green Yellow Shirahoshi is in the same boat. If you're going to slow down and let them do their thing, they can go pretty big on the board. However, with us being Big Mom Pirates type, we have way more life shenanigans than Shirahoshi does. Shirahoshi has life manipulation by like turning life cards face up and face down again, but they can't really benefit from life the way we can by like throwing cards to life with our Big Mom Pirate stuff or burning life. Okay, we're going to slam down the Bon Carré there. We're going to ramp up, and we're already on 7 Dawn. We just have to, actually, excuse me, they got to go first this time, so we had to go second. We're not going to be able to play out a 10 Lin on a normal curve like we would going first, but we have a 9 Lin on curve, which is just as good a lot of times. Okay, here we go. We're going to swing in for 5, see if he wants to turn that sideways. Now we'll swing 6. We'll swing 7 into 6. He has to give us a 2K counter. We're going to now play out the, it looks like we're going to play out the 8-cost Katakuri and push that card to life. Oh, excuse me, we were only on 8 Dawn that turn. We were not on 9. We were on 8 Dawn. They're going to swing into our guy there with their blocker. That's fine with us. We don't care at all. We'll swing 8 into 6. Now we just have targets to attack into. We'll take it every time. We're up to 10 Dawn right now. 9 Lin is really good in this matchup, but I think 10 Lin is even better. We'll swing in for 5. We'll play out a Searcher. We're looking for our 10-cost characters. Okay, that was just a whiff for the most part because we were looking for either a 2K or a big character. We don't get either. We did get a 1K counter at least. So now we can just start swinging in. We can just start swinging in for 5s here, guys. Right here, I feel like we should just keep developing the board and not even go sideways with anything. Yeah, it looks like I might swing with Lin Lin. I don't think I should. Yeah, we'll just pass, guys. We'll just pass. We're fine. Okay. Now we can swing into that character with our little characters. And the nice part, too, is we can start developing our Katakuri. Our Katakuri is going to let us stand characters up, and that's where things are going to get out of hand for our opponent. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. Well, that was 4 Searchers they just played, guys. They just played out the Shirahoshi, double Madara, and then a 3-cost Shirley. That was 4 Searchers in one turn. Seems good. We finally get the 10-cost Lin Lin. I think we should swing 6, 9, 9, and then we can stand up these characters at the end of turn. Watch this. Swing 9. Yep. He blocks. Swing 9. He blocks, or takes it, excuse me. And then we're going to play this out, end of turn, stand these up, your turn. That Katakuri really complicates things for my opponent. They're going to swing in for 11. We're going to take every one of these hits and just go super big hand size here. And then next turn, we can start demolishing this board. Because they're going to lose everything here. They're going to lose pretty much everything. And then we're going to be able to stand our cards up as active. Okay, we will swing 5 into 5. That's gone. Swing 9 into 5. That's gone. 9 into 9. We should have did 8 into 9. We did that backwards. Actually, I might not even swing with the Katakuri, so I can stand up my other Katakuri. Yeah. So now my board is completely safe. What are they going to do here? I don't know. They're in a very tough spot. They only have 3 attacks. We do have a blocker and a lot of counter power in hand. We'll take the first hit. I think we should block in 2K here, and then if he wants to swing everything into the Katakuri, that's actually perfect. He doesn't take the bait. He gives us a 10 Lin, and now it's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to... you know, we're going to keep going about things that way. They play out a Child Mage, and then we're going to, I mean, now it's just all beats, right? Now we're just going to go everything face, and we have the Tin Lin to actually, we might even go 8-cost Katakuri. No, I really think we should play out the 10 costs here. Every now and then, you know, hindsight's 20/20, guys. We're going to go 9 into 8. This is going to eat up a lot of cards from their hand. We're not in any rush. We're not in any rush right now. Okay, we're eating their entire hand up. We'll go everything into this one. There goes a blocker. Now we're going to go 10 into it, and we'll play out another Katakuri, I think. Again, I don't quite understand the logic in doing this. I don't think I should have done things this way, but hey, here we are. We're doing it. We are doing it. And there's never just one way to do things, right? There's always multiple ways to play the game. So we're going to swing 9 into 8 here. They're going to give us the blocker. So now we're going to play out the 9 Lin. We're going to get rid of this Pudding. We're going to move one of their 6 costs out of the way while gaining a life, and he can have this card in his life. We don't care about that at all, right? Okay, he only has 2 attacks. We're going to stand the blocker up in a 9 Lin. And, yeah, we are very safe. They're going to go ahead and concede. They've got their back up against the wall. That Jinbe is pretty much dead right now. There's no card it can even tap down. And what's it going to attack into? It can attack into a 9K, a 12, or a 12K. It can't swing into at face. All right, good game to my opponent there. That was a fun one. Like I said, if Purple-Yellow Pudding has time to set up and get things, you know, get the engine going, it is a very, very strong deck. Well, that's about it, guys. I don't have a whole lot to say other than the cards that I want to really consider. I'm just going to start adding them to the list, and we can talk about them like one by one. Is we have this 9 Lin here. We have the 3-cost, where is it? This card, it's to die for. I don't know if we even need this Bon Cray anymore. I still personally like the Parasparrow. Like I said, it's another searcher, and it's a threat from life. It can help us swing the tempo if we need to. I do think we need to I would like to go +1 Charlotte Katakuri. In fact, there might be an idea to go up both of these Katakuris. Just go, you know, a full Katakuri list where we have 4 of the 6-cost Katakuri and then 8 of the 8-cost Katakuris, the 4 yellow, 4 purple. I really like the idea of going up a 10 Lin, and then I like this card, the 10-cost Lin really carries games because it allows us to, it's something for us to ramp to aggressively, and it also helps us out by gaining life and ripping a card from our opponent's life. Big fan of this card. I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's something I'm going to be forgetting here. Let me type in Big Mom. Let me see something real quick. I feel like there might be 1 or 2 other cards we can really consider. Oh, that's right. This card right here, the Anana card, this is Charlotte Anana. It's a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter blocker. And it says if you have a character other than Charlotte Anana with Big Mom Pirates type, it gains blocker. This is one of the least situational 1-cost, 1K counter blockers in the game. This is a very strong utility card. And then the other card I really wanted to talk about was this 10-cost, 12K Lin. I don't think this card is like insane in this deck. I just don't think we need it. It is a 10-cost 12K rusher, so it is another card for us to ramp up to and rush in with. Tell me what you guys think about this card in your play testing, in your own personal play testing. It does allow us to be more defensive, I guess. That is definitely possible. But at the same time, do we need this? Another card to consider is, I don't know if we necessarily need the Sator anymore. If we go C2000 to look up all the 2K counters, we have access to some other cards as well, even searchable cards within, you know, Charlotte Pudding. We can run this Strusen. We can run this Charlotte Montdior to help us with this is one of the new 2K counters. Dawn ×1, rest this character. Your opponent places 2 cards from their trash to the bottom of their deck in any order. Then add the top card of your life cards to your hand. This is really strong against something like Blue Nami. But I don't think we'll struggle too much against Nami either, ramping to Lin and then just, you know, ripping their life away. But who knows? You never know, to be honest. But yeah, that's honestly, guys, that's really all I have for you for today's video. There are some other options. There was another this one. There's another another 2K counter Strusen for purple from OP11. It's an activate main once per turn. Dawn -1. Rest this character. Oh, okay, never mind. This one makes you reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and we're not really dealing with that. That's more for purple Katakuri. But yeah. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not going to, I don't have too much more to yap about. I think this list is going very well. It's definitely performing the way I thought it would. I think this card is just a straight, it is just a straight improvement to the list. Being able to swing out very aggressively is very nice. Oh, some other cards. I'm sorry. We do have to talk about 2 other ones. The The 7 cost Linlin is a serious consideration, but we're kind of ramping past 7 most of the time, so, you know, consider that when you're doing your play testing. And the same thing with the 6 cost Linlin. You know, this is just the Linlin Katakuri deck, to be honest, guys. But at the same time, this card and this card, we're not trying to do this, so I am going to remove them right away just to explain. And I don't think we're trying to do this either, to be honest. But this 6 cost Katakuri is what we're trying to play on our 6 or 7 Dawn turn to ramp straight to 8. Okay, we want to get straight to 8, whether we're going first or second with this card, or else we're not really playing to what this deck is trying to do. Okay, I think we can replace this 2K counter if you really just don't like having Satori in the deck, but I do like having this as something that is a threat out of life. But if we take this out, some other 2K counters we should really consider would be something like, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to think. We just saw this in action. This is a pretty good card, and it is searchable by one of our puddings, the yellow pudding. This pudding can search up Sanji, but this one cannot. But this is a top 5 searcher for a cost 2 or greater Big Mom Pirates type card, and this is a top 4 searcher that can grab Big Mom Pirates cards, you know, any non-pudding Big Mom Pirates card or Sanji. Okay, so there's definitely some consideration there for this 2K counter, or even Beige. Beige is another good 2K counter if you want something a little more defensive than Satori, so that way we have You're the One Who Should Disappear and Beige coming out of life. In fact, let me do this real quick. I don't want to remove the Bentham, so I'm going to keep that in here. I'm going to remove the Anana, and I'm going to remove the Paraspero. This... Actually, see, that's where it gets complicated, because I want to have the early, you know, going first or second, it's to die for turn 2 ramp. But at the same time, I will remove the Satori for the Beiges, just for this example. Hang on. It's saying I have too many cards because I have these 2 in there. They're extras. I'm going to leave this up to you guys. What do you think? Do we need to go up 8 cost Katakuris? Do we need to go up this 10 cost Kaido Linlin? Is it time to say goodbye to the Mr. 2 Bon Clay Bentham? I know we don't need it. It's just more or less for the sake of consistency. And I do think this card is really, really good against Blackbeard. So we'll have to see what happens. At the same time, now that we have a card like Charlotte Katakuri, if we can just see our ramp fast enough, we can be very effective into Blackbeard just by playing out a 10 cost 12k on curve, even if we don't get to gain a life from it. However, I do think it might be a better idea to get something like this on the board. Let me -2 that and just go up the 10 cost Kaido Linlin. Whoops, I meant to do 2 of them. This card right here into Blackbeard, if this sticks, I don't think they're getting out of this one, right? Because if this starts blasting through, like, sure, they can slow it down with their own 10 cost Blackbeard, but if they do, what are they supposed to do afterwards, right? Like, okay, you stop me 1 turn. If they can't chain 10 cost Blackbeards to stop this card, then it might just be over, right? It might just be over. It's one of those situations. But yeah, that's about it, guys. This is the direction I'm leaning with it. Let me move. I will move out that event searcher, and I want to go up 1 more of these 8 cost Katakuris. Where did it go? I'm staring right at it. There we go. This, I do think, is the way to go going forward, so that way we have 4 of this 8 cost Katakuri that can restand stuff, because now all of a sudden we're standing everything up. Maybe we do just go a single Kaido Linlin and just go the ultimate, you know, 4 of each of the 9 and 10 cost Linlins, and then 4 of each of the 8 cost Katakuris, and we just say, hey, we're going big, like we're going late game here. Tell me what y'all think about this Brulee. I've had a lot of success with it. I think it's really, really good. But at the same time, I can understand if you want to run Bon Clay in the spot in this card's spot here. I'm trying to think what else we can do. You know, this list is definitely more on the greedy side. We're running a deck that goes very tall very quickly. But man, you start slamming down some of these characters, and your opponent is in big trouble. Hang on, we can actually go up the second 10 cost. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I didn't do the math right or something. But anyway, this is kind of the direction I'm leaning. I don't know about these You're the One Who Should Disappears, because maybe instead of this and see, that's, I guess, let me say this. I think instead of You're the One Who Should Disappear, I think we should just be way more aggressively trying to get cards that are just ramping us down. You know, maybe like the Mr. 2 or something like that. But it is nice having all these bricks, because we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 bricks. Maybe we do have to keep the You're the One Who Should Disappear. I don't know. I'm leaving it there. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Guys, this list was a lot of fun. This leader is super, super strong. Cannot wait to see what you guys say about this one. All right, let's go ahead and finish this video up, guys. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel. Guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to support the channel, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. If you're supporting me through Patreon, PayPal, donating, becoming a YouTube member, supporting me through buying my play mats, or, you know, hopping on the Discord community, whatever you're doing to support me, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. We will be streaming tonight on YouTube. Okay, we'll be streaming on YouTube. 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Eastern tonight on YouTube at the time you're recording this. It's a Wednesday. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we stream now, okay? So come hang out with us. Come see what's up, and we'll hopefully have a good time, okay? All right, that's it. I'm done. Please do not forget to like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys. Peace.